hate when the Leafs lose to the Canucks.
Yeah.
Should we burn stuff?
And then,
Yes, please do!
what a great goal!
Dude! Crazy throwing waffles.
Woo!
Who are you?
Optimus Prime.
Leafs lose 5-3 to the Vancouver Canucks, and it looks like the Canucks had the spirit of giving. It's not a bad thing that the Leafs lost this game. I said this way back in the season. The Leafs have been winning, but against the better opponents, they're still just not getting it done. The Vancouver Canucks, like them or hate them, most people just hate them, are an elite offensive team. And the story coming into this game, they have the top power play. The Leafs have the last or second last, doesn't really matter at that point, penalty kill. Well, the Canucks didn't score a single power play goal. In fact, the Leafs outscored them on the special teams with Lupul's power play goal. 5-on-5, even strength, mano y mano. The Canucks beat the Leafs. And for the most part, the game was, here is what a almost for sure playoff team looks like, and here is what a, oh my goodness, we hope we just get 8th playoff team looks like. So Leafs score 3 goals. I normally go through them in depth, but screw that. This one's all Canucks goals. I'll post the link to them below, and you tell me if I'm wrong. First goal, Shen, you done goofed. And just over a minute in. Second goal, Lyles goes after someone, Franzen goes after someone, but the front of the net is open. Lupul stops moving his feet, Kessel seems to be looking for a pass for some reason, and the Canucks just walk in. Number 3 is an odd man rush, but Dion and Gunnarsson both go to poke the puck away from Burrows. And at that point, the 3-on-2 basically becomes a 3-on-1. Coming down the right wing, you have Kevin Bieksa. Coming down the left, Daniel Sedin. Who would you pick to cover? And the more options the Canucks have, the more Gustafsson has to think about, the less prepared he can be for the shot, and the more likely the Canucks are to score, which they did. Number 4, Crab falls. That sucks, but it happens sometimes. But what is Gardner doing exactly, other than not trusting Shen? And the even worse thing about this goal is Burrows shouldn't have taken that shot. Bieksa was wide open, Daniel Sedin was wide open, and yet Burrows is the one who put the perfectly placed shot on net and scored. At that point, you're making Gustafsson guess like a soccer goalie. Like, I'm gonna dive this way and hope for the best. Number 5, bit of a brain fart by Dion trying to beat Jannik Hansen to the puck. Well, don't do that. He figures it out a couple strides too late, and before you know it, Hansen's in all alone on Gustafsson. Gustafsson gets a piece, but it's not enough, and the Canucks seal it. Now, the Leafs did play the night before, so that sucks for them. But this game was still an elite offensive team picking apart an okay team. And this is exactly the sort of thing that Leafs fans get antsy about, because they're like, well, we need to change the team then. And a lot of fans want the team to get better, but they also like them being young and building for the future. Unless you're getting super rookies like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, that's not gonna happen. And that's why when Brian Burke says, oh, well, we're just fine-tuning at this point, I go, really? And then I think about the team and I go, oh, really? Because the Leafs are one of the youngest, if not the youngest team in the league, and the only way for them to get better through maturity is to wait. But you're dealing with a fan base that doesn't want to wait anymore, and they shouldn't want to wait anymore. As crazy and irrational as they can be sometimes, they are way in the right for being frustrated, although that frustration is often way misplaced. And here's what I'm saying. The Leafs gotta just ride out December, because it's become an annual tradition. Every January, Brian Burke steals some GM's lunch money. Or early February. In the last couple in January to trade deadlines, roughly, the Leafs are down Francois Bochman, Christopher Stieg, Thomas Kaberle, Jason Blake, Vesta Toskala, Jamal Mears, Matt Stajan, Nicholas Hagman, and Ian White. They are up Joffrey Lupul, Jake Gardner, a conditional 4th, a 1st, a 3rd, Joe Colburn, another 1st, a 2nd, Phaneuf, and Ollie. And as good of a season as Versteeg has had, he's not performing for the team the Leafs traded him to. And I also left out Schustrom and Jaguar because they're not with the Leafs. So given Burke's track record, I'm totally cool with just sitting here and watching the games and waiting to see what happens. But right now, if the Leafs 2011-12 season is a movie, we're at the part where it's like, oh, I don't know how they're gonna get out of this. And since 2004, the movie has ended with them not getting out of it. They almost did last season, but then they ran out of film. I guess what I'm saying is, based on what I've seen so far this season, the Leafs ain't ready for this jelly. And if you ask some people, the solution to all the Leafs' problems is one center in the minors that played 8 games last season. By the way, I'm totally open to the idea of calling up Mike Zigomanis. I actually think he might do a decent job. But to say that's the reason the Leafs stink is just wrong. And this has been Toronto's problem for a long time. We look at one dude and we go, this guy, you see, that's the guy. You just wait, Alex Suglobov's gonna be great. You just wait, Yuri Talusti's gonna be great. You just wait, Justin Pogge's gonna be great. You just wait, Anton Strawman's gonna be great. Can we stop? One dude can help, but he ain't gonna fix the whole problem. The penalty kill was not the problem against the Canucks. It'd be awesome if the penalty kill was the problem against the Canucks, because then you could point to it and go, there it is, there's the problem. But the Leafs were the problem against the Canucks. That's the scariest part. They just lost. And every game is gonna have a winner and a loser, so you can't freak out every time the Leafs lose, but they just picked them apart. So there's your SteveDangle.com poll. What do the Leafs need to do to become a genuine playoff team and be part of the playoff picture? Because this team, even just the way they are, can totally make the playoffs, but it doesn't make them a genuine playoff team, if you know what I mean. You look at some of the Cinderella stories from the last few years when the Oilers made it to the finals when they were in 8th. The Flyers and Habs playing each other in the Eastern Conference Final when they were 7th and 8th, I think. They made it far, but they didn't win, did they? So what's got to change? You can let me know on Twitter, Facebook, or any of the other things I'm on, or on the poll on stevedangle.com.